Bill Shakespeare Project presents This Week in Shakespeare for the week ending Monday, September the 24th, 2018. Hola, Bardophiles. I'm Bill, and welcome to the 213th episode of This Week in Shakespeare, a video release brought to you by the Bill Shakespeare Project. Now this week I'm sporting an oldie but a goodie, a t-shirt from the Camarillo Skyway Playhouse production of Much Ado About Nothing that I was in a couple of years back. I am thrilled to announce that I will be directing their As You Like It in the upcoming new year. If you want to know more about how I'm approaching that work from a directorial perspective, follow the blog. I'm keeping a kind of production diary there. Now, if you have any Shakespeare tees that you would like me to wear on a future This Week in Shakespeare, leave a comment in the thread below, or send me an email at bill@thebillshakespeareproject.com. I'll get you my address. I'd love to be wearing your gear on a future video. But enough about the future. Let's get back to the present and the past. This is our weekly opportunity to let you know about the latest and greatest in Willie Shakespeare headlines, coming at you every Tuesday, because I'm saying Tuesday is Newsday. The goal here is to hit you with a quick blast, no more than 10 minutes tops, of Bard-related news. Plus, we'll try to serve up some historical dates for what were the past 7 days of the year. Now, this week's news stories included: The Collation, a site affiliated with the Folger Library, ran an interesting piece on old cartoons based on Shakespearean quotes, dating from the first half of the 19th century. The Stage ran a piece on pledges made by the Royal Shakespeare Company to make live musicians more prominent in their productions, usually playing from a raised platform above the stage. The Wall Street Journal ran a piece linking Shakespeare and the new U.S. State Department rebranding by Mike Pompeo as the Department of Swagger. I'm just going to leave that there. The Evening Standard in the UK ran an interview with the director of Othello Macbeth, a mashup of those two plays being produced at the Lyric in London. Sounds fascinating. Rolling Stone ran a piece on the new song from Marianne Faithfull and Nick Cave, The Gypsy Fairy Queen, in which she sings from the perspective of Puck from Midsummer. The Guardian reviewed two new Shakespearean adaptations: Queen Margaret, which looks at Margaret of Anjou from the Henry VI and Richard III tetralogy, which they gave 3 of 5 stars to, and the aforementioned Othello Macbeth, the dual tragedy mashup, which they gave 4 of 5 stars to. And finally, The Guardian also reviewed Twelfth Night at the Royal Lyceum in Edinburgh, running through November 17th, giving the production 4 of 5 stars and saying that it is a hedonistic house party in the era before the hippie dream of free love and spiritual awakening turned sour. Now let's take a look back on the last 7 days and how they relate to Shakespearean history, both his and the history in his plays. On September the 18th, 2004, American film director Russ Meyer passed away. Known for his exploitation and very softcore skin flicks, he was the subject of a great satiric piece in the Tea Room Books blog, supposing what his non-existent Shakespeare films would have been called, like As You Like Tits, King Lear, that's with 2 E's, 42DD, Measure for Measure, Titties Andronicus, and Faster Macbeth, Kill Kill. On September the 19th, 1356, one of the major battles of the 100 Years' War between Britain and France was fought. In the Battle of Poitiers, Edward, Black Prince of Wales, and his forces defeated those of King John II of France. It is seen as one of the 3 great English victories in that war, following Crécy 10 years earlier, and followed by Agincourt nearly 60 years later. Arthur, Prince of Wales, was born to Henry VII on September the 20th, 1486. He would have been king after Henry had he not predeceased his father by 7 years in 1502. Richard Plantagenet, 3rd Duke of York, was born on September the 21st, 1411. He was the great-grandson of King Edward III and a claimant to the throne during the reign of Henry VI. The conflict between his family and his followers against the royal family of Lancaster was later known as the Wars of the Roses, and is documented in the 3 parts of Henry VI. Also on this date, in 1599, is the first record of a possible performance of Julius Caesar at the Bankside Theatre. On September the 22nd, 1415, the town of Harfleur surrendered to the forces of Henry V after a 3-week siege, as depicted in Henry V. On September 23rd, 63 BCE, Gaius Octavius was born. The nephew and heir of Julius Caesar, he formed the second triumvirate with Mark Antony and Lepidus after the assassination of Julius Caesar. After the conspirators had been defeated, the three divided the republic, but Lepidus would be forced into exile, and Octavius defeated Antony and Cleopatra at the Battle of Actium, after which Antony committed suicide, and Octavius became the first Roman emperor and took on the name Augustus. The character appears in both Julius Caesar and Antony and Cleopatra. On September 24th, 1934, the theatrical production of A Midsummer Night's Dream, directed by Max Reinhardt and starring Olivia de Havilland and Mickey Rooney, ended its run at the Hollywood Bowl. This production would be recreated in the 1935 film, also directed by Reinhardt. And that was your Week in Shakespeare, brought to you by the Bill Shakespeare Project. If you've enjoyed this news review, tell a friend and hit the subscribe button to keep from missing these news, reviews, and history videos. For our daily blog, including that production diary, and previous Twiz episodes, including links to the news stories we've covered in this week's video, as well as the real Bill Shakespeare Project podcast, check us out at thebillshakespeareproject.com. And we'll catch you next week.